Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. I would like to welcome all of you in Zishan on air every Sunday from 6 p.m. onward and through social media all over the world as well as on the traditional media. And again, it's a beautiful Sunday. Happy Easter to all of you. I hope you all have been enjoying the Easter Sunday, and those of you who are celebrating Easter, a very happy and blessed Easter to all of you. And this is the great tradition of many people in our homeland, in our country, the United States of America, where people from all different religions and faiths and different cultures, everyone live side by side as our neighbors who have been celebrating. And I've seen many people, they went to church. So I hope you have a beautiful and great Easter to all of you who are celebrating today. As you know, in this Zishan on Air, I present news to you, whatever that is being covered. I am the reporter. I report, you decide. And that's basically the whole idea. So we all stay engaged with regards to our local processes, our local communities, staying up to date in terms of what's happening around us, and then what's happening in our country, and then globally. And everyone has a right to have their own opinion, but facts matter, and then truth also matter. And with that, there are a lot of information that I would like to also share today. And with regards to that, let's dive right into our key topics. The first one is the Harvard issue. So, what is going on with Harvard University? Well, right now, the main crux of the matter is that Harvard, they are actually looking at this situation that they're saying we are not going to change our centuries old tradition. And President Trump, he basically has said that he want to even remove Harvard's tax exempt status. And this is where President Donald Trump threatened to eliminate Harvard University's tax exemption, as reported by Politico and many other news outlets. And perhaps, I quote, Harvard should lose its tax exempt status and be taxed as a political entity if it keeps pushing political, ideological, and terrorist-inspired supporting, quote, sickness, question mark, unquote, Trump said in a Truth Social post. And this is where this issue has a lot of different opinions. A lot of people are on both sides of opinion, and some are sitting in the middle. And what is basically going on here? To ease any funding crunch now created by any cutoff in federal funding, Harvard is working to borrow $750 million from Wall Street. And in a letter on Friday, this is where the education department has said Harvard had, quote, failed to live up to both the intellectual and civil rights conditions that justify federal investment, unquote. The department demanded that Harvard work to reduce the influence of faculty, staff, and students who are, quote, more committed to activism than scholarship, unquote, and have an internal panel audit the faculty and students of each department to ensure, quote, viewpoint diversity, unquote. So as you can see with regards to this particular issue, that it's loaded stuff in terms of what's happening. Miami Herald also has reported some issues with regards to Haitians and Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, because, quote, it basically the whole idea is that without any kind of case-by-case review, previously granted parole and work authorization for individuals currently in the United States, quote unquote. So this is where this whole idea of deportations and due process of law With regards to the same issue with some other deportees, this issue is not going away. And I will also play some video clips of the wife of this Maryland man, and a lot of media outlets are calling him Maryland man, and according to Trump administration, they're calling him MS-13 gang member. So what is his wife, who is in the United States, what is she saying? There are also conflicting information coming out with regards to the fact of the matter is that she did have a restraining order against him. And then President Trump also said that in his news report. And when she was interviewed by ABC Good Morning America, what she said, we're going to watch that in a minute. And then also this meeting with the senator in El Salvador, she also talked a little bit about that. And also Senator Chuck Grassley, his town hall. So we will cover that as well. So just hang in there and we'll get to all of this. President of Harvard University basically is also pushing back. And he is basically, and you can see on the screen, the quote, the university will not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights, unquote. That's what he wrote. And he added that while Harvard is taking steps to address anti-Semitism on campus, quote, they're basically, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he's basically saying that that it basically not be achieved by assertions of power, and then there is law, and then to control teaching and learning, and Harvard, will not be dictated. That's basically what he's saying. But you can certainly read more with regards to that. And then more on the same, Reuters has also reported, quote, no government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue, unquote, Garber wrote. And then Harvard on Monday rejected numerous demands from the Trump administration, said that it said it would cede control of the school to a conservative government that portrays universities as dangerously leftist. Within hours of Harvard taking its stand, as reported by Reuters, the administration of President Donald Trump announced it was freezing $2.3 billion with a B dollars in federal funding to the school. And a lot of research is also done through that, and that's why they, like I mentioned in the previous slide, that they are reaching out to Wall Street to raise $750 million. So that's what's going on with Harvard. Now, with Palestinian Colombian activist, Palestinian Columbia University activist Mohsen Madawi arrested by DHS at citizenship interview. So this is where he also gave some interviews to the media prior his arrest. So he knew that he would be arrested, and many people within his in his interview he mentioned, and then he thought that he would get arrested. So he went into hiding when another co-activist, Mahmoud Khalil from the same university, Columbia University, when he was arrested, and he basically is a permanent resident. And then Mohsen Madawi, he basically got a letter to show up for an interview, and it could have gone, both ways, but he knew that he will be arrested. And that's exactly what happened, and he was arrested. So a lot of civil rights activists are asking this question, and I want everyone to actually read in the middle of the screen what is the Immigration and Nationality Act, INA. Quote, an alien whose entry or proposed activities in the United States, the Secretary of State has reasonable ground to believe would have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States is inadmissible. So it would be inadmissible in that regard. So you can read this whole INA Act, Immigration and Nationality Act, and it's there for many years and decades. This administration is enforcing that, and then there is this whole debate that, okay, what constitutes First Amendment right and what constitutes free speech. But remember, these are non-U.S. citizens, and that's why this is where many non-U.S. citizens are scratching their heads and wondering that do they have free speech? And this is where Secretary of State Marco Rubio has made it abundantly clear, because that's what he's saying, that it is not a privilege, it's not a right, that anyone can get a visa to the United States of America and then enter, and then if they would say, and I'm paraphrasing, if they would say what they would intend to do, then he said that I hope we would deny those people the visa. So the liberties aspect and this whole idea based on national security, and in that context, it's a very, very contextualized and very important area for lawyers and attorneys, because the Immigration and Nationality Act is there. University of Houston, just right here in Houston, has confirmed visa revocation of a faculty member who taught upper level math course. And then this is where on the screen you can see the interview with the CBS News and the Department of Homeland Security referred CBS News request for comment to the State Department, which did not immediately respond to questions. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just showing it to you. Just Google it and make sure that you're bringing yourself up to speed, because we've got to make sure that we have peace and harmony in this country. And at the same time, people have a right to protest. That is also in the U.S. Constitution. But if you are a non-U.S. citizen, that is where this whole idea and dilemma is, with regards to a lot of people thinking, okay, what is going on in the U.S.? So I just read you the Immigration and Nationality Act, and that's what the Trump administration is using, and also the Alien Enemies Act, AEA, that I mentioned it previously in the programs as well. Some more information with regards to this impact to many international scholars. He basically mentioned this faculty member at University of Houston, and I quote, and I paraphrase that he said that I must return to Korea immediately to resolve my immigration status, unquote. He wrote, quote, as a result, I will no longer be able to continue teaching. Furthermore, the UH officials, University of Houston officials, have said that a small number of students were affected, though they have declined to provide specifics. The number of foreign scholars being stripped of their legal status has only grown as more universities are making the cases public. In Texas, cases have surpassed 252 international students, according to a count by the Texas Tribune. This is where now it's coming out in the news, and I'm reporting. Here, federal judge stops Trump administration from deporting 500,000 Cubans and others. Howard rejects, like I mentioned, demands, gets hit by $2.3 billion funding cases, as reported by Reuters as well. And then some more information with regards to that from Reuters as well as Politico. And another important thing is, remember, the tax exempt status is totally contingent on acting in the public interest. This is also being reported as Politico, quote unquote, as reported in Politico. Now, with regards to Doge, Elon Musk's Doge is claiming victory after uncovering $382 million in unemployment fraud, but the government already found it years ago. I don't think it's news to anyone. This is another information now reported by Fortune. So we've got to make sure that people also are looking at this, that yes, there is fraud, waste, and abuse, and there is definitely an area of enormous spending. And some politicians, I've heard from them that, oh, are we going to spend money like drunken sailors, what have you, for lack of a better phrase. And this is where we've got to make sure that, yes, it's done properly. But I will take you to this town hall as well, where even some veterans basically are asking this question as well, because some veterans were also put on this temporary probation or were asked to basically go, but then there was some restraining order or put that order on hold from the court. So this is another area where it's developing news. But a lot of people were also fired, 60,000 plus as reported previously. And this is more information on that with regards to what's happening with Doge. And more information with the Congresswoman Green. She basically started her event with a video featuring former President Barack Obama touting cuts to wasteful government spending. She said Obama's message is exactly what you're hearing today from President Trump and Elon Musk, unquote. So there is also a lot of pressure on both parties, especially the Republican Party, because they're in power, and also in some town halls that Democrats have done. But this Senator Chuck Grassley's town hall will give us a glimpse of angry constituents, and there's a lot of frustration out there, and I will share that in a minute as well. So let's show you this particular I would say imaging and video of Senator Chuck Grassley's. He is 91 years old, and he definitely has been doing it for decades. And let's listen to his town hall and some of the questions that were asked.
Yes, I believe very strongly in my Christian faith. I preach on Sundays, and I believe very strongly in we welcome the stranger. Because anyway, the least of these we do to Jesus, and that is what we've been taught, and that is what the gospel tells us. And I think turning away people who have come here for asylum is one of the most shameful things we are doing right now.
Yep, it's not America.
So those of you who are listening to me on the radio as well, this constituent, she described herself as a Christian and turning away your strangers from her faith, and that's basically what she's questioning in terms of this aspect of people who are coming to the United States of America, even for asylum or showing up at the border. So that's what she's asking. And then and this is again on C-SPAN on YouTube, so you can also go back and watch this 8-minute, but I'm not going to play the whole video. But then Senator Grassley was also asked and pointed out this particular question as well.
Excuse me, on that same subject? Hey! Excuse me, Senator Grassley, on that same subject. The Constitution, the framers of the Constitution, said that every person, not citizen, every person within the jurisdiction of the United States has due process. That has been violated by the Philadelphia administration, and we would like to know what you, as the people, the Congress, who are supposed to rein in this dictator, what are you going to do about it? These people have been sentenced to life imprisonment in a foreign country with no due process. Our government cannot do anything. Why won't you do your job, Senator?
Yeah. It's fine. Obeying the Supreme Court. Trump's not obeying the Supreme Court. He just ignores them. Yeah, screw it.
He's doing whatever he wants. Be okay with that.
Let it answer,
allowing it to
please.
happen.
Let the senator answer.
What is a constitutional crisis? What does that consist of? A constitutional crisis exists when you have a president who ignores the Supreme Court. You have a Congress who fails to rein in a third branch of our government.
That's right.
Who is now violating our Constitution. You took an oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm. Do you remember that, sir? Yes, sir. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of office of which I am about to enter, so help me God. Sir, will
I
you
thought-
act upon your oath?
Yeah, I thought that I was, when I answered, I'll wait till the clapping's done. I thought when I answered this guy's question, I was doing what the Constitution requires. I'm trying to recapture the constitutional authority of Article 1, Section 8, one of the 18 powers of Congress to regulate interstate and foreign commerce by introducing the bill, which is a bipartisan bill,
Yes.
to make some of the mistakes that Democratic Congresses made in 1963 and 1974. That's
Congress as a whole,
what I'm doing.
Congress as a whole,
Yeah.
bipartisan, has the power to act, to bring
Can you wait till they shut? Be quiet.
Congress as a whole, bipartisan, has the power to act to bring the executive branch to heel.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now,
And they're not doing it.
introducing a bill, yes, that's one thing. But as a whole, the power of Congress to bring that executive branch to heel when they are behaving the way we're seeing, that power exists within you and your other members of Congress. Do you speak to your other persons in the House of Representatives of your party? Do you communicate with them often? Do you discuss any of this with them? Do you hold any concern that Congress will be the next branch that Trump comes for because he is coming for the judicial?
The only tool that you know the Constitution gives Congress to do in regard to disciplining the executive branch is impeachment.
And you missed that opportunity in his first administration. You had 2 opportunities for that. That was probably one of the only reasons we're having this situation now.
So welcome back with Zishan on here. So this is the exchange, and as you can see from the video, people are engaged, and you can watch the entire town hall as well. And this is the beauty of the United States of America, that the senator, and he's 91-year-old, he's a Republican senator, the oldest senator in the Senate, Chuck Grassley from Iowa. And Iowa Constitution, the state constitution basically means, and what they believe in, that every Iowan, there are no Republicans, Democrats, or independents, what have you. They may be, but not as like registered Republican or Democrat. So they basically are accounted and accountable to all Iowans. And they're asking these questions. So it was a very interesting back and forth. And what I can say, that the beauty of America is in democracy, where the constituents, they meet their representatives, in this case, the U.S. Senator from Iowa, Senator Chuck Grassley. You may agree with the senator or you may disagree, but the constituents, they spoke loud and clear. And that's why a lot of these town halls that Republicans are having, they're basically getting their ears full. And some people are getting arrested, some people are getting stunned, literally with getting arrested as well. And there has to be some kind of civilized debate. But then again, when temperatures are high and the political climate is just too high, so not everyone is going to abide by those norms. But then again, this is where in the United States of America, the oldest democracy in the world, and one of the greatest systems that have been put in place in modern form of governance, that is basically how these issues are debated in public, in town halls, and with your representatives. Could be from the House or could be from the Senate. And imagine if these kind of questions are being asked in any other parts of the world, people won't even dare to ask these questions. So that's where, as an American, we have got to take pride and be also hopeful and even cautiously optimistic in these type of situations as well. That's just my personal opinion. I completely recognize and understand that some people are just so frustrated, and they may not even like even what I'm saying, because they're saying that why the senator is not taking a more harsher approach. Well, that's why he's in Senate for decades, and he knows the rules and different types of statutes. But at the same time, the will of the people, we the people, matter, and that's basically what the constituents are telling him. So we'll see what Senator Chuck Grassley would do when he returns back to Washington D.C. because right now there is recess. There is recess in House. That means basically the representatives, they come back to their districts and to their states, and they listen to their constituents as well. And some of them are not even holding the town hall. So kudos to Senator Chuck Grassley. Here's the conversation with the wife of Abrego Garcia. I would like for you to listen to this exchange for a minute or two.
News exclusive. Joining us now is Jennifer Vasquez Sierra, wife of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man who was wrongfully deported to El Salvador and is at the center of a legal battle playing out in the courts. And Jennifer, we want to thank you for joining us this morning on GMA.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we really appreciate you joining us. And we saw that Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, he flew to see your husband Wednesday. He released a photo of the two of them last night. What was it like for you to see that photo?
It was very overwhelming. The most important thing for me, my children, his mom, his brother, his sibling, was to see him alive. And we saw him alive.
Yeah,
it was very, very overwhelming.
Yeah, I think for all of us, we were all happy to see.
And then I would also like for you to watch this particular exchange, especially with regards to the question about his restraining order from
him alive. And what were you told your husband said in that meeting?
Can you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
What were you told your husband said in that meeting?
It was just a message of love.
So tell me a little bit about your husband. How long have you two been together, and what has your life been like with him?
We've been together over 7 years. It's been amazing. He's very a loving husband, an amazing father. And we were just young parents trying to live the American dream.
And we know you were living that dream until March 12th. That's when your husband was detained and sent back to El Salvador. Can you tell us what happened as you understand it, and how did you learn about his detainment?
Yes, it's been 37 days since March 12th, since my husband was abducted. It's been an emotional roller coaster, honestly. But just knowing right now that he's alive, that day he was with our 5-year-old child, and we've continued, our faith has grown, and I keep him in my prayers to bring him back home.
And how did you learn that he was detained?
He made a phone call to me, and what we thought was a regular traffic stop was not a regular traffic stop.
And we know that the administration, they're resisting a court order to bring your husband back.
So this is where, let me just to make sure.
Say your husband's a member of the MS-13 gang. Is he a member of the MS-13 gang or any other gang?
No, he's not.
And I know this is a sensitive question, but I have to ask it. You did take out a temporary order of protection against your husband in 2021. Were you in fear of your husband?
My husband is alive. That's all I can say.
Okay, and I'm not going to push on that apparently. But how much hope do you?
So that basically was the loaded question and the right question to ask, and she answered that, and you heard. Leave that to the people to decide and think about that as well, because there was a restraining order against him as well. But some people may argue that could be husband-wife's issue, domestic issue, what have you. So again, we don't want to get into those domestic aspects of it as well, but there is a due process of law, and that's what some attorneys are talking about. But at the same time, he basically is not a U.S. citizen. He is a citizen of El Salvador, and it's also not clear that is he a permanent resident or a lawful permanent resident. I tried to research, I couldn't find any information on that either. So I don't know. Maybe you have to ask his wife or those who are interviewing her, because remember that there is the law in this country. And some may say that, Zishan, what are you even talking about? Is there one? Yes, we are a nation of laws, and you can certainly talk about that. So we are also getting some calls here, but I would like to make sure that we also continue with the program, and I'll take the calls in a minute or so. So let me just put this caller on hold, and then we'll just wrap it up with regards to this other aspect of California is the first state to sue Trump on tariffs. And this is where this is another interesting information. IRS agreement with ICE to share immigrants' info could lead to billions of dollars in loss of tax revenue. So some information there. 2 U.S. troops, my thoughts and prayers go out to the families of our U.S. troops. They're serving at the border, and they basically, at the border mission control, that mission killed in vehicle rollover. And this is where Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, also said, he basically said that he enthusiastically endorsed Trump's on the U.S.-Mexico frontier initiative, saying that after years of combat deployments overseas, it is time for the United States to protect its own boundaries. In February, he posted on social media that the administration is, quote, dead serious about 100% operational control of the southern border, unquote. And then obviously Chuck Grassley's acknowledgement of potential tariff pain. And then this is the exact moment Yahoo has reported, Yahoo News. A lot of people read that news as well. And this guy in the middle on the screen raising his hand, he's a veteran. You can listen to his whole statement as well. And then Yahoo's information on the whole idea of we are the nation of laws, but some people are thinking we are not. So we have to explain and communicate with each other and talk to the attorneys as well. Democrats urge to meet the moment, and then some are saying using every tool available to her. One of the Congress person basically reported on that, if I'm not mistaken, a politician. And she said that I fear the criticism, unquote. The first-term Democratic Congresswoman told CNN in an interview after the town hall. And she also said, quote, I don't agree that all 250 members of the Democratic Party need to be activists, loud members, activist loud members. I think we need all sorts and all kinds and all styles. This is my style, unquote. So again, this is diversity, and diversity in democracy is one of the cornerstones of how people live in such a big and huge country with the over 330 million plus people. Pam Bondi, she is our attorney general. She's getting criticism from MSNBC. President Trump, I saw his statement the other day. He called MSNBC, and I quote President Trump, MS or MSDNC. So he comes up with these type of terms, and it sticks with people as well. But MSNBC has reported that Pam Bondi should know your government, includes Judge James Boasberg. Judge James Boasberg, he is the judge. He's saying probable cause to hold U.S. in contempt over Alien Enemies Act deportations, and then he's also launching contempt proceedings for Trump administration. So this news is also, I would say, developing news, and let's see what happens in the coming weeks and months. And with that, I'm also going to wrap it up quickly with the Supreme Court this month overturned Boasberg's prior ruling ordering the flights with Venezuelan migrants to return to the United States, but a majority of the justices found that, quote, detainees subject to removal orders under the Alien Enemies Act are entitled to notice and an opportunity to challenge their removal, unquote. So that's what the Supreme Court is ruling. And May 15th is another date coming up where this another case about ending birthright citizenship will be heard by the U.S. Supreme Court. So May is going to be another interesting month as well with regards to a lot of information. And I would like to also share this statement by the Department of Homeland Security official, because remember, regardless who is in power, you may like them in power, you may not like them in power, but these are people who are representing the United States of America, and these departments, they are our departments, right? And what are they saying? And I want everyone to also take a pause and also recognize and understand that sometimes mistakes also happen. I'm not giving any excuses. You have to go and ask these officials, but one of the Department of Homeland Security official on NBC News said, quote, if a non-personal email such as an American citizen contact was provided by the alien, notices may have been sent to unintended recipients. CBP is monitoring communications and will address any issues on a case-by-case basis, unquote. So that's another aspect of this. And then fight oligarchy, as you can see on this screen, the ocean and sea of people going to Senator Bernie Sanders and AOC's town halls as well. And this is America, a country where you will find a lot of opinions. That's what makes America, America. And at the same time, a lot of people are also afraid. And I say, and this quote, the only thing you have to fear is fear itself, as JFK and many others have said. And they even quoted some other, smart people. And I will just, remind everyone that in this country, opinion matters. But at the same time, for that opinion, right now, many political analysts and attorneys and civil rights activists are saying that those opinions perhaps are more suited for people who are U.S. citizens. And even some U.S. citizens, I personally know they're afraid. And I don't know why they're afraid. Maybe they have something in their closet, but I don't know. I cannot judge them. But if you're a U.S. citizen, you're here as an American, and we need to recognize that there's no such thing as second, third, fourth class citizenship unless you have already thought in your mind that you are not worthy of American citizenship, just like anyone else. And that's another message that we have to remind ourselves. With that, I would like to thank our key advertisers and sponsors. Without them, we cannot, and I cannot bring you this information and news. And obviously, it's important that we share their messages as well. So the first one, obviously, I would like to call out and say thanks and give a shout out to Affordable Insurance of Texas, AITinsurance.com. You can log on and you can find them on the internet. And for auto insurance needs, for health insurance, for commercial insurance, even for homeowners insurance, and especially auto insurance, AITinsurance.com or Affordable Insurance of Texas. You can call 713-785-4000, 713-785-4000. They have many offices all over Texas, and AITinsurance.com for all those who live outside of Texas can reach them. And then Roop Sari, if you're looking for men's trendy wear, women's wear, and for girls, boys, and even for all age groups, and especially shalwar kameez, these are formal dresses as well, and then others. So then you can also contact them. So with that, I'm going to also move on to the callers and signing off from social media, roopsardi.com, or visit them at Hillcroft. Thank you, and we'll continue the program with the Tradition Media. And we'll connect next week on Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Signing off, Zishan Isaac from Zishan On Air. Thank you.